Everybody knows that I'm breaking down. Everybody knows I ain't faking now. Everybody knows my heart's vacant now. Yeah, she hates me now, I made mistakes, but now I don't ever wanna be alone. I don't really ever feel at home. On my own, in the zone, that's the only way I know. Feeling low, about to blow back up. Here I won't ever let the doubt creep in. Gotta pop a couple more aspirin. I don't think I'll ever let you in. Easier to break it off as friends. I don't really understand myself. I don't really understand, need help. I don't wanna be left on the shelf. Couldn't even hear me if I yelled. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold outside, I'm alone, I'm alright. It's so cold. Break down, always feel like I could break now, but I never let it.
Back with another video, and today we have a special What If collab with my friend Legendary saying 678. Hopefully I got the number part right. Anyway, the What If, as you can already guess by the title, is called What If Naruto had the Hōgyoku, or what if Naruto had Aizen's powers. We could have called it that too. Guess also what are the Espada, Naruto symbol, the Espada, and Naruto. Many names we could have put for this. But anyways, of course, before we start, don't forget to like on both of I should probably explain them. Yeah, this is one, but alright, where was I after that rude interruption? Sorry about that. Oh yeah, part 1.5 because I haven't finished part 2 yet. Mostly because I had to prepare a lot of images for this one alone. And also I haven't finished the script. Anyways, of course, well, by the time recording this, I will have finished it probably after the recording. But anyways, before we start, don't forget to like to both of us, subscribe to both of us, and comment on both of us. Especially me, I barely get any comments. Okay, hopping straight to, not Shippuden, but 2 month time skip. Just everyone just use their Shippuden selves because those outfits look much cooler. Except for Jiraiya, he keeps the same outfit throughout the story. Anyway, speaking of Jiraiya, we would have Naruto finally initiate his plan to to find the rest of the Jinchuriki and turn them to his side. Which Jiraiya would have helped do using his, I forgot what it was called. So I'm just going to call it Spy Force until I remind myself what it's called. Dude, this is my first collab. How did I mess up this bad? Anyways, who everyone be going after? Gar goes after Yugito, Two-Tail, that's how you pronounce her name, right? Neji goes after Roshi. Since Jagger would have been dead, Jiraiya has to go after the Three Tails itself. He died. Naruto himself will go for a certain Snake Man for stuff. Oh, firstly, to everyone's favorite sand guy, although my personal actually he is my favorite sand guy. Anyways, over to him, he would eventually arrive to Yugito's location, at least what he'd been told from Jiraiya's spy force. Find Kagazu and Hidan battling Matatabi. Or you telling her full Biju form, I believe it was called Matatabi. The second coolest looking Biju. I still think Son Goku is the best looking. Third place is Kurama. Anyways, eventually seeing Yugito losing guard would interfere in the battle, and basically wouldn't be much of a battle at all, unless he would just fire a Gran Racero, yeah, I'm pronouncing it right, at the 3. It caused a giant explosion, and with the lead Kazu about on one heart with his Akatsuki roll basically in tatters, and he done vaporized. As Matatabi would fire a Biju bomb or giant fire jutsu, whichever one of your choice. Either way, Kakasu dies to one of those. Yukito thanks Gar for his help, and so Gar basically comes, tells her about an offer, also offer her a chance to get more power, and basically with not much of a fight, she joins. Moving on. Down, is it 7 or 8 to go? Yeah, I think 7 or 8. 8 to go. Moving over to the Pervy Sage himself. Of course, going to, find the Three Tails and capture it. You find Datara and Toby battling it. Well, fighting it. Well, no, Sorcerer would have been his partner at this point. And we'll just roll with it. Later, and Toby battling the Three Tails eventually would stay there and basically let them, injure it for him. But after they, basically leave the thing unable to fight, Jiraiya would hop in to fight the two. Would don his hollow mask, I know, right there, great photo. Would primarily fight Datara since for some reason his attacks keep phasing through Toby. Don't know why. But again, this fight wouldn't be there long as Datara's explosions would basically do little to nothing to Jiraiya besides tear up his clothes. Datara would try retreating on his dragon after realizing he can't win. However, Jiraiya would easily catch up to him and, destroy most of his body with a Odama Rasengan. Pretty sure Jiraiya knew that, right? He knows it. So I forgot to include an image of him taking the Three Tails, but he'll trap him in this thing that, you remember the Nagashionne that, Grimmjow used to trap Ukiyo? Yeah, he used that to bring him back to the village. I think it was called the Nagashionne. I need to rewatch the Rancar arc. Which I can go rewatch Bleach. Or should I read it this time? Or it was much... So my rewatch of Bleach out of the way. Next we go over to Neji, who would of course go after Roshi, finding him and offering him to join, telling him he can even get stronger. Roshi, not being that type of guy, I don't know much about him. They don't tell us much about him, but I assume we'll reject this. And so Neji would offer him a deal. If he can beat him in the fight, he'll grant him one wish. Roshi would ask if he loses, then he simply joins. Roshi, interested in the one wish, would agree, and so to fight. Roshi would go into his version 2 cloak, the Four Tails cloak. Just pretend that isn't Naruto's Four Tails cloak. Version 2, or would it be 3 in the... never mind. And Neji would activate his Byakugan and the two would begin fighting. Of course, Neji would use his Byakugan to basically get over all of Roshi's attacks, actually most of them. And would be able to hit some of his chakra points, which would basically turn him back to normal. The chakra points basically turn him back to normal base, forcing Roshi to take things a little more serious. And by a little, I mean a lot, going to full Biju. I forgot what it was called, but I'm just going to call it that. Maybe I need to rewatch Naruto too. I don't want to get past all the filler. So Roshi would fire a giant Biju bomb straight at Neji, which would hit, causing white explosion. After a while, the dust would clear, and Roshi would be left alone. No one there. Roshi would think he's won the fight. However, once he would look above him for Neji, you see him transform into Resurrection. Unfortunately, I cannot draw fan art, so just take this picture of Ukiyo's first Resurrection. Or did he do? Hopefully he didn't do Grimmjow's in the last part, or else this would be super confusing. It was a last minute change. 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 It was a l And so Neji would have his turn and basically fire a giant, ground ray Cero straight at Roshi, causing another giant explosion, basically vaporizing more of the forest, I know, and leaving Roshi on the ground unable to, not unable, basically knocked out. And so Neji would just drag him all the way back to Whirlpool. Naruto himself meets with Orochimaru and basically offers him a deal to work for him and get to whatever he wants. Wanting care for more for something, basically all of his sealing skills. No one there really knows how to seal Jinchuriki to help Beast or unseal them. Jiraiya could, but we never see it. But Orochimaru definitely can, so also, him being a Asani would also be a very great help to his forces. Anyways, the reasoning's out the way. He even offer him, again, I'm tired of saying this, more power and even to, get rid of the whole seal on his arms. He'll do just the power thing, Orochimaru will receive the powers of I believe he was the 7th. Was that Noritora? No, he was 5th. After checking, I believe he was 7th. Basically, it was to use Salaporo's powers before the hell stuff. Naruto using the Hōgyoku to do that, and probably to remove the seal on his arms too, because why not? If we're going to treat this as a MacGuffin, might as well go all the way. The Sound 4 also get turned into visors, basically all getting a hollow mask. Along with Kimimaru, who would also later become the Three Tails Jinchuriki himself. He'll become Three Tails Jinchuriki, yeah. So he'll be a Three Tails Jinchuriki in this timeline, getting even stronger. Also, his disease gets cured, because again, why not? And so that'll end off part 1.5. Hopefully you enjoyed. Probably won't do the rest, all of it next time. Probably at 1.7.5 and 17, whatever. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And see you in the next one. Subscribe to both of us, like to both of us, and comment on both of us. Well, he did part 1, so anyway, see you next time.